Well, hello, welcome back to Wildstar. I checked my video and I found that I think the issue with the microphone being way out of sync is solved, and it seemed as though the audio was working a little better as well. I think that I've gotten to the point where the variation frame rate is at least minimally affecting how the sound is out of sync with the rest of the video. We'll see as I go forward here how much that keeps up, but I actually changed my build here, and I'm not sure I want to stick with that, but okay. So I'm trying to start to think about what I want to use for a rotation, assuming I want to tank with this guy. So it seemed to me that the original builder that I had, Relentless Strikes, while useful, wasn't absolutely necessary. It seems like there's a builder in every set, so technically I can have a builder that also generates threat, although judging by how that just worked against that mob that I was fighting, it may get my damage a little too much, but I'm trying to basically come up with a rotation for tanking. So any input that anybody can provide would be great. I also will probably look up some stuff on the internet, but for now I'd like to experiment a bit. So I'm going to try to figure this out on my own, as if I was, I didn't have other people's experience available to me. But the way I've looked at it is I would use this as my builder, and then this generates threat and uses kinetic energy. So I hadn't been actually using an ability that really used up my kinetic energy in a significant way, and I think it's probably of value to have something that's going to actually make use of that mechanic. And then I've still got kick because I think it's always good to have some sort of a knockdown or a stun or something. I've got leap just for distance closing, plasma blast, which is what I had before, but I moved it over because I think it works better with my buttons if I want to have some sort of rotation. This is on a 15-second cooldown, and I just wanted to put it on a button that would be easier for me with my G600 to click. And then Whirlwind I wanted to try out. So this is mainly an assault, and thus probably a damage ability, but it's only got a 6-second cooldown, and I do need something while I'm leveling here to hopefully up my damage a bit. So we'll see how this works out. I'll probably end up changing it as I go, but for now I just want to mess around with it and see how well it works for this particular build. So yeah, this is my new builder, and it builds a lot of kinetic energy, but okay. So yeah, it does seem to take a longer to kill, which I would expect actually for a tank rotation, but I just want to see if I can maybe maximize my abilities here. I don't like this builder at all. I don't like how slow it is, but it's got a really long, slow animation, which is actually pretty common for things that are intended for, tanking, at least when they first come out. And most of the time you fight that with a fast weapon or something. They usually slow down the ones that are threat generators, and then you have to get a dagger-sized sword in order to make use of it. But alright, leap 1 is my builder. My kinetic energy builds up very fast. Alright, 2 should release the kinetic energy. Alright, it seems to do that, but 2, 3. I mean, it's certainly functional. It probably would help me to keep threat, that's for sure. It's just feels odd, probably because I've been using all this other stuff so far. Alright, let me try to integrate the plasma blast, which is that, and also the whirlwind, although I don't know what the requirements are for the whirlwind in terms of getting it to actually... Oh, I like the whirlwind, that's for sure. Of course, that's not a tanking ability, but...
Double kill.
It's definitely fun. Alright, so I build this up. And then whirlwind. And then if I want...
Double kill. Triple kill.
Oh, that's nice.
What's your progress,
One
buddy?
thing that the... one thing that this ability here seems to do, Jolt, is it's got some range on it, it looks like. It says 6 and recharge.
Wanna talk?
All right, let me get the quest.
Go finish what they started.
Kill Inventor Whom and kill Dominion security drones. Actually, let me take a look at the map. Make sure I'm not missing anything. It looks like my soldier missions are over here, so I'll go do those as well. Anyways, I'm sure there's people that are, you know, or at least one person, although there's probably only one person going to see this video besides me, that are lamenting the fact that apparently I'm not a guy that uses mouse move and my left hand for clicking the ability buttons, but I've never done it that way. I'm not the type of guy to mouse click on the buttons, although, you know, every once in a while I will, just if it's convenient or something, but most of the time I actually have always used clicking, but I had a different setup where I used, different models, but those controllers with the keyboard buttons, and then you had like a thumb controller for moving around. Logitech makes one, and there's another company that makes one. I had those for quite some time, but I found that it messes up my left hand, so I have gone back to a regular keyboard, and I'm trying this G600 out with my thumb for the ability button presses, and hopefully that'll work reasonably well. Although I got to get used to clicking with my thumb. I'm fat fingering the wrong buttons all the time. My hands are kind of big, and the buttons on this are kind of small, so it makes it a little bit difficult.
Why, you enjoying yourself? Good, because this party ain't over yet.
Yeah, I definitely like Whirlwind, although I would say the damage is good, but not great. Of course, the damage is probably always going to be good, but not great on this guy, because he's supposed to be a tank, and he's also melee, so there's always going to be some gimping going on.
Here they come, recruit. Show them what you're made of.
It's interesting. I'm also curious to see what abilities will replace the ones that I have now. I mean, obviously there's numerous abilities in every single tree, and do they all have some utility? I mean, is there any purpose to using the ones that I got originally, or do they just replace each other as you progress? I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure I'll find out. I think level 30 something is when you basically have everything available to you, but I kind of like it when there's a choice, like when I'm actually actively deciding and each thing has at least some purpose to it. So, you know, I can have different builds that have different things keyed up for different purposes, but at the same time, it sort of lowers the usefulness of progression if the things that you had at level 1 or level 2 are still actually useful at level 30 or 50.
Double kill.
One of the things I don't like about this is the unlocking of the slots. I would prefer they just gave me all the slots. You know, fine if you want to unlock the abilities or only make it so I can key in, say 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 of them as I level up. I'm fine with that, but at least make the actual button presses available. You know, like I want to have something in the 7 button, because for the way my thumb is set up, it's convenient for me to use button 7, and unfortunately I can't use button 7 because the toolbar is locked out of button 7. You know, I think it's kind of short-sighted. You know, just make all of them available, but make it so I can only have, you know, as many as you want me to have on the bar at any given time, in any given slot. Anyway, it's a little bitching on my part, but that seems pretty piss poor to lock me out of certain keys because, well, you know, that's the way it works. I guess I can probably re-hot key the buttons, but, you know, I don't want to mess with the progression of 1 through 7 either. You know, I want to have... I want to have it numbered exactly the way it is without having to mess with the key bindings. Anyways, I think that'll be fixed soon. I mean, it's not like it's going to be a problem forever, but I think it's not so great for now. Hopefully by level 15 or 20, I'll have every hotbar slot open. Yeah, having the range is nice, although that damage is absolute shit. Oh, there's kick. I don't use the kick enough. Alright. Huh. Some invincibility frames for that guy. I was wondering why he was just standing there. Apparently when they pop in, they don't just not aggro you, you can't even attack them. Alright, one more of these and this should end this particular mission. There we go. 12 soldier missions remaining. Now I wonder, does that mean in the whole zone or in the area? So I guess there was maybe 15 or so, or to start, or a little over 15 of them when we first came in. I forgot to look. I forgot to check. I should be using my 5 ability here. There we go. So the taunt has range as well. That's nice to know. That'll come in handy. And you can use that as an escape move. That's pretty good. Not that I just did. I, of course, hit the wrong button, but I did learn something from it, so that's important. Alright, 4. Here we go. So hopefully I'm actually generating decent amounts of threat. Who knows? I know there's a instance coming up. I think there's a level 15 instance. It's the first one that you do. I'm going to, of course, try tanking that. That should be an exercise in frustration and making me look stupid because I don't know anything about tanking in this game, but I'm doing it anyway.
Double kill.
Just trying to get used to where all the other buttons are. Getting close to 15 minutes here. I figured 15 minutes is a good target for... Alright. So I have not been doing this properly, but I've been testing out my abilities, really. Test out Loftite grenades. So you still have to kill these guys, although it does lower them to half health. That's handy. But I haven't been doing the quest because I was just trying to get my rotation working and seeing what the buttons do. But I'll finish up the quest now real quick since I'm up here. And then I'll stop the video and come back in. Alright, T.
Double kill.
And I've been neglecting Whirlwind again. T, 50%. Apparently most of these abilities lower the rate at which you lose your lose your kinetic energy, but you have to, of course, level up to get there. There's different tiers of the abilities, and so for now I'm stuck with the fact that, and you'll notice it drops extremely fast. If you don't use it in the fight, you're basically not going to have it for the next fight, not even close. Even just short distances away, you start to lose them. See, I'm constantly losing right there. Ability's on cooldown, I'm down to 100 already, and the guy's only a few feet away. Okay.
Double kill.
I'm from neglecting to do the quest again. It's alright. Looks like there's a guy over here that'll do it. Target must be in line of sight. He is in line of sight. There we go. I left some trash on the ground. God forbid. I want to miss out on that. Might be worth a few galactic pennies or whatever the money is in here. Alright. Getting close. 83%. We're about 16 minutes.
Double kill.
Alright. Finish that one up.
Double kill. What's the situation? Watch yourself out there.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go up here to a safe spot and mark the video off and stop it, and I'll be back in well, it's only probably a minute or two for me. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.